Good morning, everyone. I have 3 Heidi journals to share with you today. Both of the junk journals are already spoken for. The Smash book has not been spoken for yet, so I think that'll go in my shop. So yeah, by the time the video goes up, the Smash book will be in the shop. But I want to show you all of the journals because I worked very hard on them, and I think they turned out very pretty, and I think you'd like to see them. So this one is made with the little golden book. I don't know the year of this one, the copyright. There was a little bit of a residue of a sticker, part of a sticker that was there, a little price sticker. So I put this trim. I used some of the trims from Eve, and Eve lives in Switzerland. And so these are Swiss trims on a book about a little Swiss lass in the Alps, which I thought was cute. So there's a bluebird fabric on the spine, which I love, and the back is just a little golden book back. And there's Heidi and the goats, and there's her friend Peter, the goat herd. And on the inside, this is not a pocket, it's just 2 pieces of paper pieced together to form the end paper, and this one has a full sheet. This is graphic 45 paper from the Mother Goose set. There are 3 signatures, and I think there are 8 or 9 pages per signature. And as you know, if you saw Monday's video, that there are a plethora of pockets, as the video said. So I did a lot of different types of pockets in the journal. So this is one of them. I used a paper pack from Authentique called Meadow, and it's very alpine looking, and I think that it was inspired by the Heidi story because of all of the pictures that were in it, including goats. So here's little Heidi. She's planting a garden. It looks like she's putting a little note on a stake to put in the yard, and there's a watering can there. So this is a little pocket. I added some eyelet and some of my little braid trim there, and this is a cut apart from the Meadow paper pad, and this is a page from the paper pad, and I just put a little craft tag in there. So the paper pad is double-sided. It's sturdy paper. I have my pencil here because I want to make sure I erase the markings to make sure I got all the pages in the right order, which I messed up on the 3rd signature. I had to take that one out so I could fix the pages, but they're fixed now. This book is illustrated by Corinne Malvern, and I love her illustrations. This one is beautiful. This book is copyrighted 1954. Oh, this is 17th printing 1980. Here's a stamp from Graphic 45. I don't know what collection that was from. Someone sent me the stamp, and it has a girl on a swing, which you'll see in another signature, and it has part of the Robert Louis Stevenson poem about the swing. So I don't know what set that came with, but somebody sent me the stamps, and I love this. They look appropriate for Heidi. There's some eyelet there and some mint green satin ribbon. And this is a couple of cut-aparts or punch-outs from the paper pack. I used some pages from this book that I had gotten at a flea market, Alpine Flower Designs. And they're done in a Art Deco style, Art Nouveau style. And since they're alpine flowers, I put a page in each signature. So there's one of them, the viola. I made this little fabric pocket with some applique-on embroidery and a little bit of lace across the top. There's a couple of cards from the paper collection. With the golden books, when I include all of the pages, I do it Gail's version, and there are videos on how to do that, but I fold it at the fold so I don't have to cut anything off here. And then I'm left with a fold, you know, just a little runty tab. Normally I would attach this and then make a pocket here, but I have so many pockets in this that I just added a decorative strip to the side where the little folded paper is. And so you'll have just room to add more photos or journal or whatever. Here's a fabric flip with some pretty alpine looking flowers and some eyelet lace, coffee dyed paper. I added some pretty lace on the edges of some of the pages. This little strip is from the paper collection. This is just a piece of stationery. There's a pretty envelope, and inside is a sheet that you can write on. Another piece of embroidery with a little Tim Holtz girl dressed in European costume. Here is the pocket. I showed how to make this on my other video, Monday's video. So it's just got some eyelets in there. It's got 9 eyelets and then a ribbon threaded through and tied. I stamped a lace background stamp on this background piece, and this little stamp came with that Graphic 45 stamp set that I mentioned. This is just something from that Alpine Flower book. I put it on cardstock. This is a piece of the trim that Eve sent me. Very pretty. And then we have the Polaroid pocket that I made out of wallpaper. And there's fabric back there. And again, that little alpine girl. And I put a couple of my favorite tags that I had in my stash. You may remember when I made these on a video. This is cut, an image cut from the other book. And it's on this pocket with some of my Swiss trim and some buttons. And then this is just a scrap of pattern paper, and it's got a grid on that side. And I put a really pretty piece of fabric on it for a tab, and then a pink and purple daisy. That's a vintage trim. And that's the first signature. Second signature has the same types of things, and some of the pockets vary from signature to signature. But again, we have the eyelet and the lace and the little pocket here with a tag inside. There's goats on this paper. Love the plaid. Here's the girl on the swing. Love that picture, or that stamp. This is from the kit, the paper collection, but this is from something else. It's a piece of ephemera that I had from something, and this is a bunch of cuckoo clocks in really pretty colors. Again, we have fabric with embroidery and lace and a card tucked inside, and a fabric flip here. There's bees on this paper. And there's some children playing in the meadow with deer and fishing poles and goats and geese. Here's alpine flower. I need to glue this. This is another stationery envelope, and it's got a picture of a little girl on it. I think this is from the American Girl series. And then I took a piece of cut off paper and rounded the corners and just put that in as a journaling card or a photo mat. On I'm not going to tuck it back in because I don't want it to get stuck on the glue that I just added. And here's a piece of braid trim, and I think that came from Eve also. I'm not positive. Here's another kind of pocket. Instead of the one with the eyelets and the ribbon, this one has folded fabric into triangles and then just kind of arranged on the page. And these are some vintage digital photos that I look at her with daisies in her hair. I thought they were cute. And this paper isn't from the collection. It came from a pad that I just got at Joann's. They had cardstock packs on sale for $4.97 on clearance, and I picked up this one, and it had goats and daisies and all kinds of stuff that would go well with the Heidi theme, so I got that to use in my smash book. This one has a little ticket from the collection. It's part of the cut apart pad. Now this paper, it was coffee dyed paper, and I liked it and I wanted to use it, but this little corner tore, so that's why I added this tuck spot. So this is a bonus tuck spot, but you can see the back side of this paper, and when you tuck the card in, you can see the corner of the card. There's some more embroidery. Now this embroidery with the blue flowers, this was some embroidery that my mother did. They were on squares of fabric that I think she was going to make a quilt out of, but she never finished the embroidery. And you can see where the transfer is for the rest of the flower. That was supposed to be in dark blue. So I thought that was cute. You can still see the transfer. This is a Rita Donnelly flip. This is the goat paper from that Joann's paper pad. And it's quite heavy paper, so it's a stiff flip, and you can journal on that. And I put a couple cards in there. Love that one. And here's the other card tag that I really love. This one's my favorite. And again, we have an illustration from the other Heidi book on some cardstock and coffee dyed paper and some Swiss trim and some buttons. And then the third signature. I used to mark my numbers down here in the corner, and then I would cut my paper. I had to, even though I fold it, I still have to trim some off, and on the bottom too, so I often ended up cutting off the numbers, so now I put it up higher. Some more embroidery. So both of these journals are going out of country. This one's going to Canada. And when I get to the other one, I'll tell you where that one's going. I won't glue this one, but it's, again, the stationery. I will glue it before I send it. And this one has the dark blue, but not the light blue embroidered. There's another of the eyelet pockets and a card. This is a piece of, I think this came from Eve, and I sewed it on with that open side because it's so wide you could tuck something in there if you wanted to. And a Polaroid pocket. This one I figured this little boy is the Tim Holtz doll, but I figured he was Peter, the goat herd. And there he is with his hand on the goat's back, and there's a scarecrow behind the goat. The goat is eating a patch off of the scarecrow's coat. This illustration came from a children's book. And there's another tag that I made in one of my videos. This was collaging vintage ledger papers and stuff onto file folders and some Tim Holtz tissue. So I turned that into a tag, and there's some of the Swiss trim. And then on the back is the final pocket that I created for these journals, and it's just a library pocket. I have these pockets in my shop, and they come with a card. You get 10 pockets and 10 cards in your set. I inked around them, stamped there, added a piece of scrapbook paper to the bottom, a ticket from the collection, and this little piece that I stamped. I stenciled on the card, and then just added a little piece of cut off paper with my signature on it. So, and I tied it with this pretty ribbon. I thought that looked really nice with the Heidi theme. So that one's going to Canada. This one is going to go to Switzerland. Heidi is going home to Switzerland. So my friend Eve, who sent me the trims, requested this book. Of course, Heidi is special to her. And she said she didn't care which one, but the other one was already claimed, so I told her she could have this one, she was really happy about because it shows the Alps in the back, and that's her homeland, and so I'm happy that she wants this journal. So there's the grandfather and Heidi and a goat on the cover, and there's a piece of Eve's trims, and there's the back. There's purple featured on the cover of this book. Well, not featured, but it's kind of jumps out at you. So I put purple rickrack on it. And we have a plaid background, and the elements are all the same, so we can go through this one more quickly. This is an illustration from a children's storybook. It had different stories in it, but this was illustrating the story of Heidi. And there's a piece of stationery with a little girl and a deer. I added some washi tape. There's a piece of my mother's embroidery with a punch-out piece from the collection. Here's a little note card, a little fold-a note with a little girl at a gate. It's a Hallmark card, and I put some washi tape on the little flap. I had forgotten about the stickers, the sticker sheet that came with this collection, so I went through and added stickers to some of the pages in both books. So I got into my collection of, my stash, I should say, of homemade ephemera and pulled out things that went well with the Heidi journals and added them in. This book gets a special page. This is from a Fabric Babies book, and there was a page with goats, and it was white on the back. So I had to put that in. Isn't that adorable? And there's another one on the other side. There's a girl on the swing. This book is pretty chunky. There's some more embroidery that my mother did. It was from a baby quilt that was used and stained. There's another little piece of stationery with a little girl on it. This one just has a card with a butterfly clip on it. I have leftover cards and pieces that are going to go with each journal so that you can add more cards to your pockets or use them to embellish any way you want to. This actually I got from a flea market, and it was a belt. It had a white plastic slide fastener, but I love the colors to go along with the Heidi theme. Here's the other side of that fabric book. this page, and this came from that collection from Joann's. I don't know the name of it. This is an illustration from a children's reader, and it's a goat eating a sunflower. I thought it was so cute. And here's a piece of my collaged work on a tag. These illustrations, these big pages, came from this book. This piece of embroidery had a blank spot in between the two flowers, so I put this tag there. This page ended up being really, really dark. I tried a new technique, new to me, technique for coffee dyeing, because I didn't want to turn the oven on and I didn't want to spend a lot of time coffee dyeing my paper. So I dipped them in coffee like I always do, and then I just stacked them up on top of cookie sheets. I had two cookie sheets of paper and one cookie sheet that I put tags and stuff on. And the one on top got really, really dark. I would have thought the one on the bottom would be dark, but no. So I hope you don't mind that, Eve. I kind of like it. There were a couple of these on the sticker sheet, and I think it's supposed to be like some sort of a suspender or something. And then we have the final Polaroid pocket. This is an illustration from a children's book. I love the colors. Little bits of lace up there, a little Tim Holtz girl sitting on the border. And this is a tag I've had in my stash for quite a while. I stenciled on the back, and that's a Mrs. Coggs image. And then we have the pocket at the back, my signature there. So I'm so happy that this journal is going to go to Switzerland. And then we have the Smash book, which will be in the shop. Now, I'm going to get questions, what's a Smash book? Because people always ask me. So a Smash book, I make them out of a larger book normally. I wouldn't make a journal, like a sewn journal, out of this. This can be used as a journal. You can use it for whatever you want. But I just bind it with my Bind It All with wire instead of making a spine like that and sewing the signatures in. There was just a set $1 up here, so I just covered that up with a strip, and the corners were really, really soft, and so I put metal corners on them. But to continue, what's a Smash book? It's just a scrapbook, really. Just stick whatever you want to in it. Photos, tickets, memorabilia, whatever. A candy bar wrapper that you thought looked really cool. Whatever you want to add in there. Here's the back. I just folded a piece of paper around the raw edge where I had torn the book apart. I love the illustrations in this book, and you saw some of the pages in the other journals, but some of the pages also made it into this book. This is from Mrs. Coggs, one of her book plate kits. I thought that was cute for Heidi. So I like to use double-sided paper, heavier paper, because you're going to be gluing stuff to it normally, or taping stuff to it. And I don't embellish them a lot because that's for you to do. You're going to glue your stuff in. But I do add a few pockets. So here is one of the pockets made with one of the large journal cards. Here's one of the book pages. This is a page from that Joann's set, collection. And I did add a couple stickers, but I put stuff underneath this. I'm not going to get it out right now. All of the extra pieces are underneath this. So I'm going to include all of the stickers that I didn't use with this, because I'm going to let you just put them wherever you want. I did not want to decorate these pages. This one has a fold over page, and it has a printable cigarette card that has some flowers on it and poppies on this side. They're both digitals. This just has a little page on there. There's a goat page. This is from the Meadow, the Authentique Meadow collection. There's a book page. I added this pretty wallpaper border with the children. Looks like they're playing London Bridge or something like that. And I made envelopes out of pages. So there's 2 envelopes, and I put some of Eve's trim on there. Oh, this is where some of the journaling cards are. I tucked them in there. You can take them out and use them throughout the book, and then tuck whatever you want to preserve in there. This one just has a calendar page that you can use for journaling or planning or whatever. I love that picture of Heidi and her grandfather. I love the joy on his face. There's another pocket. So this is, there are two pages that were white on the back, and I added a pocket to them. There are 28 pages, so 56 front and back, plus 2 pockets or envelopes. I don't like to put many more than that in, because once you start gluing stuff on the pages, the book gets really fat. And I don't even know where I got this piece of embroidery. Somebody sent it to me, maybe? I don't think I got it at a flea market, but I glued it to this pocket because I thought it was really great with the Heidi theme. And here's the other book page envelope. And this one has some of the smaller pieces in it. And there will be more with this book. All of the books are going to come with leftover cut-off pieces of the paper and extra cards, journaling cards, and extra bits. And this book will come with the rest of the stickers. Look at that back page with the goats. I couldn't put a pocket on the back page because I didn't want to cover I just didn't want to cover that. So there we go. Those are the 3 Heidi journals. I hope that you enjoyed seeing them. I really enjoyed making them. It was a really great theme to work with, especially since I had trims from Switzerland. Thank you, Eve, for that, and thank you for requesting this journal, and my other friend in Canada for requesting that journal. I'm excited, as usual, about the next journal. I don't think I'll reveal that in this video. I think you'll have to come back to see what the next set of journals is going to be. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.